In the desolate moors of northern England, where mist shrouds the land like a ghostly veil, lies the remote village of Grimwood. The villagers are a superstitious lot, their lives governed by ancient folklore and whispered tales of the supernatural. Among them is young Thomas, a curious lad with a penchant for exploring the untamed wilderness that surrounds Grimwood. Despite the warnings of his elders, Thomas often roams the moors in search of adventure, heedless of the dangers that lurk in the shadows. It is on one such moonlit night that Thomas' world is forever changed. Venturing deeper into the forest than ever before, he stumbles upon a clearing bathed in an eerie silver light. There, amidst the gnarled trees and twisting roots, he witnesses a sight that freezes his blood in his veins. A pack of wolves, their eyes gleaming like burning embers, stand in a circle around a figure cloaked in darkness. As Thomas watches in horror, the figure begins to transform, its limbs contorting and stretching until it resembles neither man nor beast, but something altogether more sinister. A werewolf, paralyzed with fear, Thomas can only watch as the creature's gaze falls upon him, its lips curling into a snarl that sends shivers down his spine. In that moment, he knows that he has stumbled upon a secret that the villagers of Grimwood have long sought to keep hidden. But as Thomas soon discovers, the werewolves of Grimwood are not content to remain mere legends. They hunger for something more than the occasional lost traveler or unsuspecting wanderer. And as the moon waxes full and the shadows deepen, Thomas finds himself drawn into a deadly game of cat and mouse, where the line between friend and foe blurs and the true nature of Grimwood's darkest secret is revealed. As the days pass, Thomas becomes increasingly obsessed with uncovering the truth behind the werewolves of Grimwood. His once carefree explorations of the moors are now fraught with danger as he delves deeper into the secrets that shroud the village. Whispers among the villagers grow louder, their eyes darting nervously whenever Thomas draws near. It becomes clear to him that he is not the only one who knows of the creatures that lurk in the shadows, and that there are those who will stop at nothing to ensure that the truth remains buried. But Thomas is undeterred. With each passing night, he finds himself drawn back to the clearing where he first encountered the werewolves, his determination outweighing his fear. He knows that he must uncover the secrets of Grimwood before it's too late, before the darkness consumes them all. Yet, as Thomas soon discovers, the werewolves are not the only dangers that lurk in the depths of Grimwood. There are darker forces at play, ancient powers that have long slumbered beneath the surface, waiting for the right moment to awaken. And as Thomas' quest for truth leads him ever closer to the heart of the mystery, he realizes that he may have stumbled upon something far more sinister than he could have ever imagined. In Grimwood, where shadows reign and secrets whisper on the wind, nothing is as it seems, and Thomas must tread carefully if he is to survive the darkness that threatens to consume them all. As Thomas delves deeper into the mysteries of Grimwood, he begins to uncover unsettling truths about the village's past. Whispers of a dark pact made centuries ago between the villagers and an ancient, malevolent entity grow louder, hinting at the true origins of the werewolves that haunt the moors. But the more Thomas uncovers, the more he realizes that he is not alone in his pursuit of the truth. There are those within Grimwood who will go to any lengths to protect the secrets that have been hidden for generations, and they will stop at nothing to silence anyone who dares to uncover them. Caught in a web of deceit and danger, Thomas finds himself torn between his desire for answers and the very real threat to his life. Yet, even as he faces betrayal and treachery from those he once trusted, he refuses to give up the search for the truth. And so, as the moon rises high above the moors and the shadows deepen, Thomas embarks on a perilous journey into the heart of darkness, where the secrets of Grimwood lie waiting to be revealed. But whether he will emerge unscathed or become just another victim of the village's sinister secrets remains to be seen. As Thomas delves deeper into the mysteries of Grimwood, he begins to uncover fragments of an ancient prophecy, whispered through the ages by those who dared to speak of it. The prophecy speaks of a chosen one, destined to confront the darkness that plagues the village and uncover the truth hidden within its depths. Haunted by visions of a spectral figure cloaked in shadows, Thomas realizes that he may be the key to unlocking the secrets of Grimwood. But with each step he takes towards the truth, he finds himself drawn deeper into a tangled web of deception and danger. As the lines between reality and nightmare blur, Thomas discovers that the werewolves of Grimwood are not mere beasts, but guardians of a dark power that threatens to consume everything in its path. And at the heart of it all lies a truth so shocking, so unimaginable, that it could shatter the very foundations of the village. But there are those who will stop at nothing to ensure that the prophecy remains unfulfilled, and as Thomas' journey reaches its climax, he finds himself facing enemies both human and supernatural. With time running out and the forces of darkness closing in, Thomas must unravel the mystery of Grimwood before it's too late. Yet even as he confronts the horrors that lurk in the shadows, Thomas can't shake the feeling that there are greater forces at play, forces beyond his understanding or control. And as the final confrontation draws near, he realizes that the fate of Grimwood and perhaps the world itself hangs in the balance. As Thomas delves deeper into the mysteries of Grimwood, he uncovers a hidden network of tunnels beneath the village, leading to ancient chambers adorned with cryptic symbols and faded paintings depicting scenes of unspeakable horror. These underground passages seem to hold the key to unlocking the truth behind the werewolves and the dark forces that grip Grimwood. But as Thomas navigates the labyrinthine depths, he encounters strange markings etched into the walls, symbols of an ancient language long forgotten by the villagers. Each symbol hints at a deeper meaning, a connection to a past that has been carefully concealed from the world. Driven by an insatiable thirst for knowledge, Thomas deciphers the cryptic messages, piecing together fragments of a forgotten history that stretches back centuries. He learns of a time when Grimwood was ruled by a powerful coven of witches who made a pact with a malevolent entity in exchange for immortality and power. The entity, known only as the Shadow King, granted the witches the ability to shape-shift into werewolves, unleashing a reign of terror upon the land. But as time passed, the witches grew drunk on their newfound power, and their dark deeds drew the attention of forces beyond their control. In a desperate bid to save themselves, the witches bound the Shadow King within the depths of Grimwood, sealing away its power and condemning themselves to an eternity of servitude. But the Shadow King's influence lingered, twisting the very fabric of reality and cursing the village with its dark legacy. Now, as Thomas uncovers the truth of Grimwood's past, he realizes that he may hold the key to breaking the curse and freeing the village from its torment. But with the Shadow King's minions closing in and the fate of Grimwood hanging in the balance, Thomas must confront his own inner demons and harness the power within him to challenge the darkness that threatens to consume them all. As Thomas delves deeper into the secrets of Grimwood, he discovers that the village's dark past is intricately linked to his own family's history. In the ancient texts hidden within the underground chambers, he unearths references to an ancestor, a mysterious figure whose name has been erased from the annals of Grimwood's history. Driven by a gnawing sense of curiosity and a growing sense of dread, Thomas delves into his family's archives, searching for clues to his ancestor's identity. But with each revelation, he finds himself drawn into a tangled web of deceit and betrayal, where the lines between truth and fiction blur into obscurity. As Thomas pieces together the fragments of his family's past, he uncovers a shocking truth that his ancestor was none other than the founder of Grimwood itself, a man whose thirst for power knew no bounds. It was he who made the pact with the Shadow King, binding the village to its dark influence for all eternity. But Thomas' discoveries do not go unnoticed. Shadows stir in the night, whispers of ancient evils echo through the trees, and Thomas realizes that he is not alone in his quest for the truth. Dark forces, both human and supernatural, converge upon Grimwood, each seeking to claim the power that lies hidden beneath the surface. As the lines between friend and foe blur, Thomas finds himself torn between his desire for justice and the realization that the secrets of Grimwood may be too dangerous to uncover. Yet, with the fate of the village and perhaps the world hanging in the balance, he knows that he cannot turn back now. Armed with newfound knowledge and a growing sense of purpose, Thomas prepares to confront the darkness that lurks within Grimwood's heart. But little does he know that the greatest challenge lies ahead, and that the true nature of the village's curse may be far more insidious than he ever imagined. As Thomas delves further into his family's dark history and the secrets of Grimwood, he begins to unravel the tangled threads of the curse that has plagued the village for generations. But with each revelation, he realizes that the truth is more twisted and terrifying than he could have ever imagined. Hidden within the ancient texts and forbidden tomes, he discovers a ritual that promises to break the curse and banish the Shadow King once and for all. But to perform it, Thomas must unlock powers within himself that he never knew existed, powers passed down through generations of his family, dormant until now. Yet as Thomas delves deeper into the ritual's intricacies, he realizes that its completion comes at a terrible price. To unleash its full potential, he must sacrifice something dear to him, something that will irrevocably change the course of his life. Haunted by doubt and plagued by visions of the horrors that await, Thomas grapples with the decision before him. Should he continue on his quest for redemption, risking everything he holds dear? Or should he heed the warnings of those who came before him and abandon his pursuit before it's too late? But as the moon wanes and the shadows lengthen, Thomas knows that time is running out. The werewolves grow bolder with each passing night, their howls echoing through the forest as a grim reminder of the darkness that lurks just beyond the village's borders. In the end, Thomas must make a choice that will not only determine the fate of Grimwood but also the fate of his own soul. For in the heart of the forest, where the shadows converge and the ancient evils stir, the true battle for the soul of Grimwood is about to begin, and only Thomas has the power to decide its outcome. As Thomas wrestles with the weight of his decisions, the village of Grimwood plunges deeper into chaos. The werewolves grow increasingly aggressive, terrorizing the villagers and leaving a trail of bloodshed in their wake. Amidst the turmoil, whispers of rebellion and dissent spread like wildfire, threatening to tear the community apart from within. Caught in the midst of this turmoil, Thomas realizes that he cannot afford to delay any longer. He must confront the darkness that plagues Grimwood head-on, even if it means risking everything he holds dear. With a heavy heart and a resolve forged in the fires of adversity, Thomas sets out to gather the tools and knowledge necessary to perform the ritual that will break the curse. But as he delves deeper into his preparations, Thomas becomes increasingly aware of the forces aligned against him. Dark figures lurk in the shadows, their eyes gleaming with malice as they scheme to thwart his plans and preserve the status quo. Betrayal lurks around every corner, and Thomas knows that he cannot trust anyone, not even those he once considered friends. As the night of the ritual draws near, tensions in Grimwood reach a boiling point. The werewolves grow more brazen in their attacks, their hunger for blood insatiable. The villagers, driven to the brink of despair, look to Thomas for salvation, their hopes riding on his ability to deliver them from the darkness that threatens to consume them all. But as Thomas stands on the precipice of destiny, he knows that the true test lies ahead. The ritual will demand everything from him: his strength, his courage, and perhaps even his very soul. And as the final hour approaches, Thomas must steel himself for the ultimate battle, where the fate of Grimwood and all who dwell within its shadowed confines hangs in the balance. As the night of the ritual descends upon Grimwood, Thomas stands alone in the heart of the forest, surrounded by the eerie glow of moonlight filtering through the trees. With trembling hands, he begins to perform the ancient incantations, his voice shaking with a mixture of fear and determination. But even as he recites the words of power, a sense of dread washes over him like a tide. The air grows heavy with anticipation, and a chill wind whispers through the trees, carrying with it the echoes of 1,000 forgotten voices. Suddenly, a figure emerges from the darkness, a towering, shadowy form wreathed in black mist. It is the Shadow King, ancient and terrible, its eyes burning with malevolent fire as it looms over Thomas with an air of mocking amusement. Realizing that he has been outmatched, Thomas braces himself for the inevitable confrontation. But before he can react, the Shadow King lashes out with a bolt of dark energy, sending Thomas sprawling to the forest floor. As Thomas struggles to rise, he feels a cold hand close around his heart, draining him of his strength and will to fight. Desperate and alone, he whispers a final prayer for salvation, knowing that his efforts have been in vain. And then, in a flash of blinding light, the darkness consumes him, swallowing him whole as Grimwood's fate is sealed for all eternity. The werewolves continue to roam the forest, their hunger unsated, while the villagers cower in fear, knowing that they are forever trapped in the Shadow King's grasp. As dawn breaks over Grimwood, a somber silence descends upon the village, a grim reminder of the price paid for tampering with forces beyond mortal comprehension. And as the days turn to weeks, and the weeks to months, the memory of Thomas and his quest for redemption fades into legend, a cautionary tale whispered among the shadows of Grimwood's haunted streets.